Welcome to QSR Nation, your weekly dose of food service marketing tips and business strategies for success. Here's your hosts, Josh Anderson, Beth Oots, and Anthony Pierce from the PFS Brands National Headquarters.
Hey everybody, welcome back to QSR Nation from the PFS Brands National Headquarters in Central Missouri. Today, as always, we have Josh, Beth, and Tony. And today we're going to talk about employee suggestive selling, or basically having your employees kind of, push the current LTO or whatever item you're trying to really push across and kind of drive more sales. For instance, there's a difference between suggestive selling and upselling, but when it comes to upselling, if you were to upsell $1 more to 50 customers a day over the course of the year, that's over $18,000 in additional revenue. So it can add up very, very quickly. Yeah, Tony, you want to take it away from here?
Sure thing. One of the things about suggestive selling that really helps is if you kind of, as the owner or manager, decide how you want this to be presented. We can work with you and kind of help them put some scripts together. We've done this for some other stores where the employees have, some quick suggestive points to help them understand how to communicate. A lot of times, they're not sales folks, they're not maybe used to that environment, but they'll pick up really quickly if they're able to have that repeat and read and repeat opportunity behind the case. So if we're promoting cinnamon apples, for instance, having people say, hey, have you tried our cinnamon apples? They're great. They've got a really real warm apple pie flavor to them. They're just amazing. Having those few keyword talking points can get someone to be like, well, okay, yeah, I'll try them. And also having the physical action to take and pull a sample out and reach out and hand it to them just to try and, again, create that engagement with the consumer. But sometimes we need to script that just so that the employees feel comfortable. If they don't feel comfortable engaging customers and, upselling or the suggestive sell or just, what side to try or what item to pick off the menu, then chances are they'll just keep quiet and become more of an order taker. So you really miss a lot of opportunities if you're just taking orders and not creating some suggestions.
Well, like Anthony said, training is so important. You have to make sure that every single one of your employees gets comfortable with upselling. It shouldn't be something that has to be a training session every single week. But just mentioning, hey, with our Q1 national promotion, there we have shrimp, unlimited shrimp for 60 cents. That should just be an automatic question that's added on by every single employee just to make sure you're getting extra revenue back in your pocket.
Yeah, I know you're currently working on even creating clings that go on the back of hot cases. That
Yes.
have some key descriptive terms, obviously, or what the LTO you're trying to push. That could be like a really right in their face way for the employees to, when they're taking an order, they can see those terms and then use those to the customers.
Exactly. Any of those features that you can have, with our spicy fish dippers, they have a garlicky marinade, for our chicken sandwich, it's a half-pound chicken sandwich. Just those key factors that are going to be appealing to customers, but it's also easy for the employees to remember whenever they're trying to upsell things.
Absolutely. And, and also it gives employees confidence. And typically an employee who is more confident in their job and they're going to execute their abilities better, and they're going to be able to be retained easier. But, really it's simple training, but it's highly, highly, highly important. So, having those things there to help guide them so they understand what to do and say. And they can, after a while, they'll start molding it into kind of their own presentation, using their own words. But giving them at least the baseline to start with is really important. And another aspect that's really important with suggestive selling is those employees also have had to have tried the food. Make sure that you have a sample day for your employees so they know what our mashed potatoes like so they can describe them. Are they lumpy? Are they smooth? Are they garlicky? Are they buttery? They need to sample that. And, as a manager or owner, need to make some time to set aside so that they can actually fully experience everything in the hot case. So if a customer asks, well, what's the breading like? They can give a good, solid, hey, I've tried this, I like it. It's, peppery, it's, salty, it's whatever. But they can actually give a description to the customer.
That kind of comes down to something that's kind of off the topic, but that's basically hiring in general. I know we always don't get a lot of applicants, obviously, at some of these locations, but whenever you do, you should be hiring people. You should be hiring people that, will talk and engage the customers.
Exactly. And one other thing to remember, never forget about those in-store competitions when it comes to upselling. Giving that employee some motivation to start making sure that they're getting some more dollars back in the store's pocket will help increase your sales substantially.
Agreed. I mean, we've seen that happen in several locations, and we've done case studies with them, and it's just proven that in-store competitions really help. They help with the training factor for suggestive selling because they're hearing their coworkers do the same thing, so it's easier for them. They feel a lot more, able to do it because everyone else is. So it's a great thing, and it has you can have some really fun rewards with it. We've had stores give away $25 gift cards. We've had stores give away meals. We've had some larger gifts given away. I mean, really take the time to get your team involved, and they will help with your suggestive selling.
All great points. If you have any questions on employee scripts, even training, hiring, just anything like that, be sure to reach out to us at mdf@pfsbrands.com. You guys have anything else to finish up with?
Just upsell, upsell, upsell.
Absolutely.
There you go. And until next week, with Josh, Beth, and Tony, we'll see you again on QSR Nation.
Stop by next week for another QSR Nation episode or visit pfsbrands.com.